Welcome to the presentation titled School Districts Tweet Content Patterns Related to Technology and School Performance. This presentation will detail the current status of ongoing research exploring the relationship between a school district's performance and the extent of its Twitter use related to their active use of technology. This study was developed as part of the Song Lab research group within the Instructional Systems Design and Technology program at Sam Houston State University. The relationship between a school district's performance and the extent of its Twitter use has not been studied extensively. Few studies have examined how school districts' performance can reflect the type of content that is shared with its stakeholders and the community as a whole. Additionally, school districts' tweet content patterns related to their active use of technology have been underexplored and have not been investigated in relation to their school performance. This study explores school district tweet content patterns related to their active use of technology and examines the relationship between these tweet patterns and their school performance indicators. As previously stated, this area has not been studied extensively. So, what exactly did we learn from the literature review? First, we learned that social media has recently played a significant role in the communication strategy of several school districts in the United States, as internet has become one of the most reliable means of communicating with parents and sharing information. Communication through social media apps allows school districts to reach a much larger audience than that of traditional means of communication, such as district websites, automated phone calls, emails, and even letters mailed home. Second, we learned that on various social media platforms, such as Twitter, school districts often create official hashtags in order to aggregate content. A hashtag is used to index keywords or topics on Twitter and allow people to easily find and follow topics they are interested in, such as tweets pertaining specifically to the school district or to individual campuses. Hashtags are used by school districts to facilitate real-time discussions and provide a sense of community within those school district stakeholders and the community as a whole. So overall, we learned that districts who engage with their stakeholders over social media have an opportunity to involve more of their community in solving potential issues faced by the district. So in this study, our primary goal will be to explore if there is a correlation between a school district's performance and their tweet content patterns related to their active use of technology. We have developed two research questions to help address this central question. The first seeks to identify the extent to which the content patterns of a school district's tweets are indicative to their active use of technology. The second question asks, what are the relationships between a school district's performance and their tweet content patterns related to their active use of technology? So let's talk a little bit about the methods that we use in this study. So first thing, as far as the population and sample goes, 48 public school districts located in the Region 4 geographical area in the state of Texas were selected for the focus of this research. The Region 4 area includes over 1.2 million students and around 1,500 campuses that span across a 7-county area in the Houston metropolitan area. So why Region 4? Overall, we felt that Region 4 would be a great microcosm of the state of Texas because their demographics are very similar to that of the state of Texas. Next, let's take a look at the types of data that we evaluated in this study. So using each of the school district's Twitter accounts and their official hashtags, data was collected to investigate if there was a correlation between the district's performance and their tweet patterns relating to their active use of technology. In addition, each school district's accountability and demographic data were collected for this study. The Texas Education Agency annually evaluates the academic performance of each school district in the state. Accountability ratings are assigned to formally label the overall academic performance of each school district, which were used to calculate the overall district rating. Student performance outcomes are primarily generated from the state's summative assessment data. States also consider alternate assessments, college, career, and military readiness, graduation rates, and other relevant data into the overall performance methodology. Our data collection featured 3 years of tweet data, from the 2017 school year to the 2019 school year, whereas a total of 245,000 lines of tweet data were generated. Next, looking at the results from our cluster tweet analysis. So the tweet data was organized and all the school districts were divided into 2 distinct clusters. Each cluster's tweets were analyzed and key terms were identified based on its frequency. After cleaning the data multiple times, we found that Cluster 0 featured more technology-related terms such as STEM, math, and tech, while Cluster 1 did not feature any distinctive technology-related terms. As you can see in the images below, you can kind of see the top 20 key terms that were found for both Cluster 0 and Cluster 1. Next, let's talk a little bit about the cluster performance analysis. So, to begin the statistical analysis process, an independent t-test was performed to evaluate and compare the differences between the 2 means for the 2018-19 overall performance data and the 2017-18 performance data. Now, the reason we didn't add the 2016-17 is because that data, the TEA used a different methodology for their accountability ratings that year. So we only did these 2 years. Now, the analysis found that there was a slight difference between the 2 clusters regarding overall performance, which you can see in the mean data. This implies that the district's performance can play a slight role in the extent of the technology-related tweets. Now, while the overall performance data of the 2 clusters were analyzed for those 2 years, there's still additional analysis to be performed. So future goals of this study will consist of the development of a statistical model by comparing multiple factors and data that we do already have available in this study. So as stated before, this is an ongoing research study. It has not yet been completed. We are primarily looking to obtain your comments and your feedback from this conference in order to improve our study before our eventual journal publication. So we're encouraging you to please utilize the Contact Author button below to include your valuable feedback for this presentation and this study so that way we can improve on it. So once again, that concludes our presentation, and I want to thank you for your time and we are all looking forward to your comments and feedback from this presentation. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the convention.